Most advice about handling change errs on the side of softer. It tells you to just give yourself grace, take a break, take deep breaths, and absolutely self-care has its time and space. But if you are in a place of massive change and you are ready to move forward, that's not the reason you're stuck. The real reason you're stuck, you're resisting change, not adjusting to it. Most people don't struggle with change itself. Most people struggle with letting go of what was. They cling so tightly to the way things used to be, instead of dealing with the reality in front of them of what is. And the longer you fight that reality, the longer you stay stuck. When my mom died a few months ago, my beautiful best friend came to the hospital with me, and she sat with me on a park bench near the river. We sat there for hours. It was one of the most beautiful days it had been for weeks. And I remember it being so conflicting because while the outside was beautiful, the inside, what I felt was earth-shattering. It felt like a tsunami. It felt like a roller coaster of emotions. And something happened in that moment for me. I realized that the world was none the wiser. The world had no clue that I was going through the most devastating moment of my life. And after a while of sitting with that, I started to realize some of the take your time advice started to give me more permission to just hide because I felt so isolated. And the reality I had, maybe this is your truth too, I didn't need more coping mechanisms. I had plenty. I needed momentum. I needed to move forward. Many of you aren't here because you struggle with change. That's not why you're not moving forward. It's because you're waiting on someone to give you permission to say it's okay, to let go, to get going, to take the first step without whatever that situation or person or event was. But what I learned is the difference between people who thrive during change versus those who get crushed by it isn't more self-compassion or patience. It's ownership. And when life hits you like that, you have two choices: resist or redirect. And friend, let me tell you from experience, resisting is exhausting. Real adjustment happens when you stop fighting your reality and start to adjust to it. And when I started to do that, navigating caregiver burnout, navigating grief, all the things, having 4 kids, that's when something happened for me that I hope can happen for you. I started to realize that this change wasn't happening to me, it was happening for me. And instead of asking myself, why me? Why is all of this happening to me? I started to say, or ask, what can I do with this? So today, I hope to help you to understand why you're really struggling with change and hopefully give you a few ideas of what you can do instead. And as a reminder, this is a part of a 3-part video series. If you haven't already subscribed, make sure you subscribe below. Click the notification bell so that you are aware when I post the next one. So one of the reasons you're struggling is because you don't feel ready. Given most people freeze when life hits hard, right? What you want to do is wait until you're ready to take action. But the truth, my truth, is that you're never fully ready, and that's okay. But if you sit around waiting to feel comfortable and have ideal circumstances before you take that first step, you're going to be sitting around waiting forever. And what I've learned in this season of uncertainty for myself is any step is better than nothing at all. Anything that you can do to take one tiny step and build momentum is one right step in the direction of getting unstuck. Complaining feels good, but it is going to keep you stuck. Feeding off of other people's trauma feels good, but it's gonna keep you stuck. I get it. Venting and complaining about how everything is working against you, it feels good. It feels like you have power because you're getting it off your chest. And instead of putting all that energy into what you have no control over, things that have nothing to do with you, start to really look at your sphere of control. What can you change today? What is one decision that you can make that's going to move you forward? Letting go of the old you. One of the things about change, especially as a mom, is you start to grieve the version of yourself that you used to be. The one that felt the most comfortable and confident before you had kids. Maybe you were thriving in your career or your life and now you feel completely lost. Or maybe you had a plan once upon a time and now you're completely upside down because the plan didn't go according to what you thought it should be. The old version of you is gone, and it's totally okay to mourn that. But if you don't learn to start to believe that all of this is working to form the new version of you, you'll never learn how to step into it and let this work in your favor. I think it's unfortunate that so many people spend so much time trying to fit, striving for returning to their former selves, who they used to be, how they used to feel. I don't think that's the play. Instead, shift your identity. right? Instead of thinking, I wish things were like they used to be, something you have no control over. Start asking yourself, who do I need to become to thrive in this new reality? Because that's where your power is. Change is not the enemy. Your resistance to change is the enemy. You can fight it, complain about it, and try to spend all of that valuable, limited time and energy that you have holding on to what used to be. Or you can choose to adjust faster than anyone else around you and come out ahead. Set yourself up, right? So here's your challenge. For the next 24 hours, I want you to do this. Catch yourself every time you notice a change happening at home, at work, with your clients, that you're resisting. And instead of asking yourself, why is this happening to me? Why? And trying to do everything you can do to avoid what's inevitable, ask yourself this, what's my next move? Because I started to look at things, especially when my mom died, and say, okay, that's the play, that's the assignment, God, okay, bet. What's my next move? So comment below and tell me, what's one thing, one change that you've been struggling with? And what is one action that you can take today, right now, to move forward from? And if we really want to talk about the real advice to handling these curveballs that life likes to throw at us, make sure you subscribe to the channel and hit the notification bell, because in the next video, I'm sharing with you my 3-step framework to turn change into your competitive advantage. I'll see you there.